bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside Joel's office for another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with Soul Joel himself, looking dapper in pink tonight.
Yeah, but the button's kind of popping here, buddy. Let's just get right into it.
I love it, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't let the slouching because the body just doesn't look right. Yeah, I'm wearing pink, you're wearing black, and it's slimming. Because I cut out sugar for 2 weeks, and then let me tell you, I fell off hard.
You and me both, my friend.
Yeah, it was so bad that so we had brewer night, right? And that was the day after, 2 days after Halloween. Mm-hmm. And DJ Bob, running trivia, waited in line for the general. Like Ronan's running VIP, I'm running the general admission, so I'm checking in 750 people in 90 minutes. Maybe less, right? 75 minutes.
Quite a task.
All of a sudden in line was DJ Bob with a basket full of candy and was like, would you like a treat? And I was like, I cut out sugar. He goes, I had to ask, and then walks away. That was it. He waited in line just for that moment.
Bob.
Yeah, the best. But I got home that Friday night, so it was 3 days after Halloween, and I started eating what Bob had given, Hershey Kisses and whatever was in the kitchen, and then I ate the third Friday, Pizza Friday. So I had avoided it for 2 weeks. It was the third week that I got it, and let me tell you, I woke up sneezing like crazy, and I realized that it was from the heat kicking in, and I'm allergic to dust.
Oh, okay.
But I also think the next day I woke up with such a headache. It was because my body felt like it was poisoned.
Totally, dude.
And that's how bad you figure that's sugar.
It's unbelievable how it messes you up and how you can live with it when you're used to it. But, boy, you take it away and then you introduce it back.
Yeah.
Because I had the same thing, man. I fell off 2 weeks ago, and or a week and a half ago, something like that. And
Around the same time.
Yeah, right around Halloween. Damn Halloween candy. I even gave my candy to. I bought a bag of candy, but then ended up having to do my football podcast during Trick or Treat, so I couldn't answer the door.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that jerk old dude that doesn't give out the candy, so I gave the bag I bought to my neighbor, and he handed it out. So I thought. A couple days later, he knocks on my door. He's like, "Hey, Al, weren't many kids this year." Hands me 3/4 of a 5-pound bag of candy, which I ate most of.
Which we don't have to speak of anymore.
Oh, and the topper to the whole Sugar Rush run was...
So you weren't mad at your neighbor?
No. I was like, yeah, bring the bag of crack over. I'll smoke it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, dude, then then the culmination of the falling off the good eating diet bandwagon was I ordered a Sicilian pizza. They call it a tomato pie, which it's just but I had ricotta put on top, so it's a tomato pie with ricotta, and I ate.
Not scaring me away.
Yeah, I ate 3/4 of that pizza over the course of about 4 or 5 hours, something like that.
Okay, was it a large pie?
The big rectangle type with the square pieces.
Okay, Sicilian. Yeah.
So I ate. 8 pieces or something, something like that. And then that wasn't good enough because now I needed the sugar fix, right? So now I get out the old blender and I take the Oreo cookies and cream ice cream that I bought because I knew I was on a bender. And I had just happened to prepare some frozen little bite-sized candies to put in the milkshake. So now I put a bunch of the leftover Halloween candy in the
If I could be a fly on the wall.
Dude, this was all by... Now, my late night habits,
Yeah, this is all 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well, I started at 3 in the afternoon. That's when I ordered the pizza.
Right.
All right? I got up early so I'd be hungry by 3 and could start.
I hate myself. Let me just...
Dude. So I put, I don't know how many pieces of bite-sized Halloween candy into this milkshake with the cookies and cream ice cream, blended it up, ate it like it was like a blizzard. You know what I mean? Like a Dairy Queen blizzard. And within 10 minutes, felt like I was going to die. Like not literally die, but I felt so bloated. So like, you know when you eat so much sugar that you have that like bad come down thing,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, literally I had to go to bed at 9:30. I couldn't tell you the last time I went to bed at 9:30, and it was probably 4th grade or something. And I slept, other than to get up and go to the bathroom every now and then, I slept until like 2 o'clock the next afternoon. Felt so bad, dude.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, you had to sleep off, not work off.
Yes.
Sleep off.
Sleep off.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was like I had like a bout of like heroin. I mean, I never did heroin, but I see the people nodding off doing
Yeah.
it, you know, and
It makes you want to go into a coma.
Yes.
And I feel that way when I overeat, like all the time, because like your body's not breaking it down. It just feels like shutting down.
That's it. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Buddy.
Well, we have the same struggle, my friend.
What are we doing?
All I could think of is this isn't going to look good in Puerto Rico.
No. Dude, so you know how like you're shopping for deals and you're like going, so I had and I told you I've been on the phone with different people, and
Yeah.
so I had a dream that I was on the phone with some sort of like travel agent or someone helping me, and he goes, "This is amazing." He goes, I found flights for $7. I go, that can't be right. $7? I go, throw me down for 2.
Yeah, sign me up.
I go, that's great. He goes, oof, looks like you do have a 12-hour layover. I go, yeah, well, that's not how I want to go. I go, yeah, I have to spend a half a day somewhere I don't want to be. I go, I'd rather spend an extra $100 and get on an actual flight. Like, it's not that
12-hour layover going to Puerto Rico.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not
Like we're
going
to Australia.
right halfway around the world. Where are you headed? Beijing?
$7.
The entire flight's 12 hours. Like they're like, yeah, that sounds like a flight I don't want to get on.
For real, man.
And I'm like, now this is also a sign I need a vacation because I'm having dreams about bargains. Yeah, I'm like, this needs to happen
Oh, that's priceless, man.
ASAP.
ASAP.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Dude, just a little rest and relaxation, man. But we're building it, man, and it feels good heading into December, because this year was busier than last year, and last year I think we had a breakfast with Santa, and then we had Aunt Mary Pat, comedy shows sprinkled in, and then New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But even this year, we have Aunt Mary Pat again. We have a swing dance, breakfast with Santa. Then we have the Celtic Christmas, 2 bingos.
Ooh.
So I put the stupid video post of me with the toboggan hat and the
Oh, as Eddie.
cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
We
Christmas
sold
vacation.
Christmas vacation, 500 tickets in 4 days.
Good Lord.
We had to add a second night. The second night now, when we have Wednesday and Thursday, it's up to over 300.
Get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So it's 2 more nights.
That's absolutely incredible.
Then New Year's Eve, we have the Sounds of Sunnybrook, the old directors band of the retired music directors. They're in the matinee, 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Jason Solomon on New Year's Eve, comedy show.
That'll be great.
Then we have Dibs and the Detonators at night. So we only did 1 event last year. Now we have 3 on New Year's Eve. We just booked New Year's Eve, DJ Dan line dancing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which
he'll
people
kill
have
it.
gotten, every event he's gone to, people have mentioned the podcast.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, Dan.
yeah.
Nice.
So that's
great.
It's pretty funny. And then got the Celtic Christmas, and then we got QDK.
Yeah, QDK with Daryl Davis.
Yeah, that's coming up on December 1st.
Yeah, that's gonna be badass.
So, dude, it's gonna be like a really like action-packed December. And December historically, even when I was at like Valley Forge Casino and other places, with the holidays and everything, it normally starts dying down.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you're just, I mean, and like I know the Celtic thing is sold well already.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just amazing. That's so cool, man. I'm so fired up about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a really exciting time.
yeah, what an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So no, it should be great, man. I'm really looking forward to then going into next year, already having all these events booked, and then if we could just book them again and repeat. Then you have, so we had like Small
Right.
Business Saturday, which we just went through. So on Saturday of Thanksgiving, in a week we had 50 vendors.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah. So we're just trying to get as many people through as we can,
That's
man.
a beautiful thing to. Oh, and we didn't mention the Chris Barron show too with
Chris Barron.
David DiFiore opening up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
And then we have also the Nutcracker.
Oh,
Yeah, which we'll see.
that yes, that
yeah.
could be really cool. That
Yeah,
could be really cool.
And again, that's a holiday themed thing. So
right.
yeah,
I love
Yeah.
it, dude. I love it.
yeah,
Yeah, man. That's really cool. And you're establishing what works.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we have to talk about Bobby Kelly. So Bobby Kelly came last Saturday, killed.
Killed.
Right? He said that he said it on stage, but he said he would have never came to Pottstown, PA before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Then some Chinese woman sneezed in someone's mouth, started COVID, and now Soul Joel's is the comedy capital of the Mecca of the world.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
what a thing to say, man.
No, it was awesome, and I get it. He's pandering, not also, but
Yeah, but listen, Bobby doesn't fucking pander.
that's true. That's true.
If there's anybody out there that doesn't pander, it's Bobby fucking Kelly.
Right. That's
so
true.
when he says that, he fucking means it.
Yeah, no. But because he said it in the first show, and the first show was sold out, second show halfway filled.
Mm-hmm.
But he said it both times. Goes on the bonfire, says that he hasn't been in a comedy room that hot in years. He can't tell you the last time he's been in a room that hot. And then Big J goes and says that he's still upset that I
Oh, jeez.
capitalized on the. But I keep telling him that two things. One, I denied any interview for that first 6 months. I didn't do any interviews over. The only one I did was Page 6, which I didn't think was real.
Right. That's right. That's right.
And I said no to everyone. Like, dude, places from Connecticut wanted to have me on, and I said no. I wasn't. It was their story to tell. And but again, I guess he came back and started defending me. But even like Louis J. Gomez went on Bennington's Unmasked with
Oh,
Ron Bennington.
okay.
And said that this maniac, me, is still doing shows in the park outside. But here's the thing. That was right before we announced we were coming here. It was literally like 2 weeks before.
Dude, yeah, I was at that show.
Yeah, you were at that show. And here's the thing. Lewis was getting paid, okay? So how was I supposed to pay him if I wasn't charging the customers? And because he was saying that he couldn't believe that I had a show that people had to pay for in a park where people enter for free.
Dude, listen, I love Lewis, but fuck that. Let me
Yeah.
tell you why. You know what that fucking show was? It was Louis J. Gomez, headliner.
Yeah.
Zach Amico featuring headliner.
Yeah.
And fucking Tim Butterly,
Headliner.
headliner hosting.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
Yeah.
That was a massive show. Now, was there somebody doing meth 20 feet away? Yes.
Yes.
But so fucking what? It was
Was
a
there a
great
random
show.
cowboy walking by with an American flag Speedo?
Yeah.
Yeah, also yes.
Was there a mother who was a little concerned about Louis J. Gomez's language in front of her children walking past?
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yes.
fuck her too. And
walking by like the three ducklings.
yeah, totally.
Mother and her
Yeah,
ducklings.
taking
Yeah.
me for a little swim in the lake.
It was wild.
Priceless. But listen, I'm sure he was in hyperbole mode because he was on a podcast. But fuck that.
Yeah.
That was if there was ever a comedy show worth paying for, that was one of them right there.
And I still
What a
think that those guys need me, not need me, but have me because they're not talking about any other comedy club. They're talking about me.
Right.
It's almost like I'm the heel in wrestling.
Right,
And
right.
they talk about the bad guy.
Yeah. And sometimes you're the baby face. Like a lot of times you are. They're just really going. Not in this case, but a lot of times it's just guys bringing you up and being like, "Can you believe Soul Joel kicking ass and taking names and
Yeah.
doing real well?" Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
But I have heard also that, especially when Big J's involved.
The other side.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You need to have some sort of come to Jesus moment with Big J and bury this hatchet, man, because I can't believe he still talks about that.
I think it's going to be when I finish this book and I
there
get to
you
go on. Cause
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're 5 out of 10 chapters done. Yeah, we're halfway.
Beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff I'm hearing about it's gonna be a banger, folks.
Yeah.
I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be killer.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be fun. So yeah, Bobby came and he
That
just,
first show was so freaking. Talk about a hot room.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
He did more crowd work than I've ever seen Bobby do, and he does a decent amount, but he doesn't go Voss on you very often. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he did a shit ton of crowd work that night. It was very
Yeah,
cool to
which
see.
it almost felt like it was. I could see why people thought it was made up. It was hilarious where the guy in front by himself, seat missing. So of course you start talking about that, and the guy's talking about how his girlfriend couldn't make it, and he's like, "Oh, dude," like, and went off on it.
Oh, he went off. Do you even have a girlfriend? I bet she's probably hideous, or
Yeah, well, because he got to the point where he told him he owns a landscaping business.
That's right.
He goes, you are too good looking. He's like, you're not the guy out there working. And he goes, oh, I bet your girlfriend's one of the workers.
That's right.
Made her Mexican.
Named her Margarita or
Yeah,
something.
Margaret. Yeah, exactly. And said, be like, I'm going to see the show. And he'd be like, I want to go see the show.
I want to see show too.
Yeah. So she's in the back talking to bald-headed John, security John.
Is that where she was the whole time?
Not the whole time.
okay.
At some point,
She came back into the room.
came back.
Okay.
Came into the room.
Okay.
I don't know what happened, maybe kids or something like that, but she came.
Oh, she had never even been there.
She hadn't been there.
I did. Okay.
Yeah. So she was, and then like got a drink or she checked in late.
Okay.
And then John, and then he goes, "Oh, we were just talking about you." And then the whole thing.
Dude, because
Yeah.
John walked her up.
Yeah.
And he tapped me on the shoulder as he was walking back and goes, That's the guy's wife. I was like, you got to be. I couldn't wait to see where he was going to go. And, it just got even better from there.
Bald-headed John is now starting to realize that there's two shows going on, one for us, one for the audience.
Yes.
And that was like, he knew, you could see, because, I mean, you can't help but get caught up in that.
You really can't, man.
Yeah.
You really can't.
Yeah.
It's priceless, dude. And when there's an A+ comedian, which Bobby Kelly is an A+ comedian, you can pick your favorite within the A+ range, but Bobby's as good as it fucking gets on the planet, man. He really is. And when an A+ comedian is on his game
Yeah.
and giving you his A+,
Yeah.
and playing off of some crazy ass shit in the crowd,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, come on. It's a perfect firestorm of just comedy awesomeness, man.
And we ended up telling him that because of you, we designed our room after his last special, Killbox.
So cool.
Yeah, and I said that, and I think he really appreciated that. I think he forgot it because here's what happened. I get an email from his wife about giving him my number, and he already has my number. I texted him earlier in the week, but I looked at it. He goes, "Dude, look at how many," and he just showed me all the text messages he gets like in a week. I can only imagine because he's doing all the podcasts and all
dude, everything he does, yeah.
normal life and everything,
Right,
you know.
right.
And so he called me up right away, and I go, "Yo, Bobby, what's up, man? What's your ETA?" He goes, "Are you at a rap concert right now?" And I go, "What are you talking about?" I was outside. I was getting into my car. I was headed to the club. I go, no. And he goes, "Yo, what up, yo?" And I go, "Oh, that's my Philly accent." "Yo, Bobby, what's up? What's your ETA?" Like, I just thought he goes, "Hi, how are you?" He's like slowing things down. And when he finally gets there, I go, "I'm sorry, I'm high strung." He goes, "Be who you are, man."
Dude, that is so funny.
So he basically asked about, he brought his feature down, Max.
Yeah, Max Marcus,
Max
who was
Marcus.
very funny,
And
man.
from Philly, I didn't realize.
Yeah, I didn't either, actually.
Yeah.
I know Max is the producer of YKWd and Greg Stone's.
Yeah.
Friday Night Greg and whatever else Greg does a lot of different things. But yeah, he's been kind of risen up the producer ranks in the last couple of years in the New York comedy scene. And
Yeah.
I'd never seen him do stand-up, and he was very funny.
Very funny.
Very
dude.
funny.
His mom was there at your show.
Yeah, that's
So she
right.
came afterwards.
Who
Yeah.
you could definitely tell was his mother.
Mom,
is.
yeah.
He was even shorter than him.
Yeah, for sure. And but yeah, Bobby. Yeah, he asked where if there was a cigar shop, so I sent him over to our good friends over at Goose's Cigar. So the lounge, which Bobby went to last time, I think he forgot.
Right. He's been to a lot of cigar lounges.
Yeah. But came and then just had a blast, dude.
Dude, something else, man. And let's not forget to mention Brian Fennell hosting, who tore
Yeah.
it up also. Love Fennell, man.
Yeah.
That awesome Philly dirtbag. He's great.
Well, yeah, because normally when he brings Jokes Russell, he does a 2-person show.
Right.
So I guess it's because we did 2 shows. He was like, "Who's hosting?" And I was like, "Oh, I could host." Then I remember Fennell had texted me earlier in the week asking about that. So I couldn't get off the phone fast enough with Bobby. And Fennell goes, "Yeah, man."
Dude, Fennell's great. He really is. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great on stage, good dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, dude, so real quick, I hand him money for the night.
Fennell?
Yeah.
Okay.
and he goes to put it in his pocket. I said, no, because he was about to count it. I go, could you please count it? Because I want to make sure I didn't short you. $20. Mm-hmm. He counts it. He goes, I think you did short me $20. And I did. Because I'm too caught up. You see me. I'm like, there's so much going on. I'm trying to watch Bobby's set and pay someone.
Dude, I don't know how you do it, bro.
2, 4, 6. Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
And I just hand it to him.
Yeah,
You know?
well, and plus, what else is going on in the other room? What's going on over here? What's going on over there? You got 17 people to pay out that night. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that with the night before, which we'll get into here in a little bit with the band.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you're like, okay, I owe this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you got like a
Well, and that's why I know that you had sent me everyone's payout, but I'm like, I knew you knew. And it's all your relationships.
And I'll try, I will try and remember to bring that with me the night of from now on because I didn't even think of it.
Oh no, it
just
was
to make
fine.
it easier.
But then the other part was so we had Band of Llamas and all the connections there with not only you, but then Fred.
Yeah.
And then
Grateful Fred.
Yeah,
Love you, buddy.
Grateful for exactly. And then Dave's wife,
Leah.
her cousin is another friend that comes to shows, Allison from Phoenixville.
Oh wow!
So it's just a wild.
And they were there. Her older brother Nick was college roommates with Joe Bartnick.
Joe Bartnick,
which is unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's
Bartnick's.
how
Do you schedule Bartnick to come back?
Yeah. So it's Saturday, March 29th, which we looked at the calendar, not realizing that's the day before Easter.
Oh. Okay.
Which doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does. It's just but he is last Saturday in March, and then we're gonna have Band of Llamas open and close.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So Dave's brother comes up and John. So we're in the middle of figuring out payment. So I was like, "Oh, you're the sound guy, right, Ryan?"
Right. You thought it was Ryan. That's
So
right.
it was Ryan, and he goes, "No." He goes, "I'm not my brother. I'm the better looking guy." I quickly realized it's
That's
Dave's.
such a John response.
Yeah,
too.
but I
He's a
thought
funny guy, man.
thought it was Dave's brother. I mean, I figured out it was Dave's brother,
Right.
but I thought it was Ryan.
You thought it was Ryan. Yeah. It's so
I'm like,
funny,
there's
dude.
so many people here. I'm like, I'm not retaining everyone.
Oh, dude, and you're meeting all these people for the like
First time.
Ryan second time, everybody else, and
Yeah.
Ryan and Dave second time, everybody else first time.
It was a shorter, chubbier guy with beard and glasses.
Both awesome guitar players, by the way. Not that
Yeah.
that would matter right then, but
Yeah.
oh man, that's funny, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
And John is a character, man. Like he's a funny guy. So Dave and John are both priceless dudes. The Lippies, Band of Llamas, check them out. They're killer.
So now, obviously, I grew up playing the piano. I once took drum lessons and the viola, not violin.
Easy, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to brag so early.
I
into
took a
the
whack
pod.
at the cello for a year.
Yeah, well, yours is bigger than mine. And but music's your world, right?
Yeah.
And comedy's I consider comedy like I'm more in tune with that.
Fucking
At
A.
the end of the show, Trey Alexander
Yeah.
invites John up to do a duo, a jam. So now, was that planned? Was that spur of the moment? Did they say it might happen?
Well,
because
here's-
it was a moment where like you see John and them like making eye contacts, like not romantically, but like they're doing.
Spaghetti strands
Yeah,
between their mouths.
yeah,
Running
exactly.
slow motion across
Which
the
I can
ballroom
only
floor.
imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine with Trey's longer hair. He was the lady. Yeah.
That's so awesome. So here's what I know about that. So Ryan, sound man Ryan Shirk, my former student and great friend, who's been invaluable here. He's running around like a maniac the whole show. He takes his job very seriously. He's running around with his iPad or whatever that thing is that he can adjust the sound from on
the
his little
soundboard,
device.
right.
And he's up on the stage checking things. He's running around different spots in the audience checking things. And he comes over to me and he's like, so there might be some kind of jam coming up here. And this was an hour and a half into the 2-hour show, something like that. They played one or two more songs, and then all of a sudden I said to Ryan, he goes, oh, that's what Ryan said. He says, where are the guys from Band of Llamas? And I was like, I pointed back to the bar because I just got done talking to John at the bar, but he wasn't there anymore.
They're doing trinkets and treats.
Yeah, totally. Man, totally. Yeah, they might be outside
Yeah.
having a cigarette.
Yeah.
So Ryan went to find them, and then I see him come through the side door from the restaurant area, with Dave.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, something's definitely happening. And then Trey did one or two more songs after Ryan said that to me, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's happening, you know. And then I see them hustling around trying to get things set up real quick. They did it like because they're freaking pros. They did it like that, and then they launched into a epic 10-minute long version of Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
Which was, listen, if anybody out there that wasn't there that appreciates guitar, check out Band of Llamas, John Lippy, Dave Lippy, and the Trey Alexander Band, and his various other things. Valerian Sun he also has, and a bunch of other stuff. Two of the best guitar players you ever see just tore it up for 10 minutes to an epic song that people love to tear things up to. They were, I mean, like Trey is as, like, I've known Trey since he was a teenager, and that dude is as good as anybody I've ever known. And John is right there with him, and you know, they just went to town on this tune. It was like, it would be like if all of a sudden Dave Attell had wandered into that Bobby Kelly show on Saturday,
Yeah.
and
They started bumping mics.
they start riffing. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
But now, another question I had that only you could probably say, and maybe you can't, because I don't know if it's like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So Trey, when you watched him,
Yeah.
and I watched this, but from a production standpoint, he had guitars lined up, and they're all different. And apparently, like that's him, because his Instagram is Trey Alexander Guitar.
Oh yeah.
And you know, like but how or why does he decide which guitar he's going to play for which one? Does he know, or does he care? And can he share?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
That's a great question. So the way that works.
I'm glad it was, because I didn't know if it was a stupid question.
No, it was brilliant. It was actually brilliant. Yeah, because
Something I noticed.
Yeah, that's really smart, and it's something that is like a lot of guitar players are what I call gearheads. Okay, my best friend Gavin, who is the other guitar player in Snap Squatch.
Yeah.
Okay, Gavin and I have been friends since I was 14.
And he was at the show.
Gavin was at that show
Yeah.
because he knows great guitar playing, and Gavin, who works 60 hours a week, drove his ass up from Lancaster to see that shit because he knew how good it was. And so Gavin, my bass player Steve, and a bunch of my friend Brian Goshaw that you've met, they're all serious gearheads, okay? That means they spend a lot of time studying their equipment. I'm more of the, remember that weightlifting commercial, I pick things up and put them down?
Yeah.
I'm the guitar equivalent of those guys. I turn knobs until it sounds good, but I can't talk the
Figure it out.
Yeah, but here's what goes on. Trey, in large part, one, because he's just awesome, and but in large part, two, because he won this Guitar Player Amateur Guitarist of the Year in 2005. He doesn't have to pay for a lot of equipment anymore. Like, he has sponsorships out the wazoo, which is where every musician wants to be. You know what I mean? And so a lot of that stuff, I'm assuming, is custom built for him. I know for a fact at least a few of them are, if not all of them. And so he has what every guitar player wants, and he has an ear and the skill to back it up in spades.
Yeah.
All right. So what he's doing is he's picking a guitar that's perfect for the sound of the song that he's playing next.
Okay.
Like, if you go back and you listen to like his set, he'll play some straight up blues tunes. Like, he started off with a I don't know the name of the song, but it was a straight up blues kind of shuffle, like boom, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum, ba, that kind of feel, right? And he tore it up to that. That's a very different sound than the stuff he was doing by the middle of the set, which is more of a fusion sort of guitar shredder type stuff, like Joe Satriani, Steve Vai-esque kind of things. And so he had another type of guitar for those type of things. And each one has its own unique and distinct sounds. It has what are called different pickups, which means it sounds a little different. It'll one guitar might have a brighter wood, so it pops out a little more. One have a darker wood, so it's a little more of a mellow tone, that kind of stuff. But a guy like Trey knows his shit big time, and he knows exactly why and when to use each guitar for the best sound for each song.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You go see Eric Clapton, for instance, okay? Guy who has unlimited resources.
Yeah.
Right? You know, he's been in the game forever. He's got millions and millions and millions behind him. I saw him at the Spectrum in 91 or 2. And I happened to sit on the side of the stage where his guitar rack was.
Yeah.
100 guitars.
Right.
Somebody brought him a different guitar after every song. Now, he played 20, 25 songs. He didn't still barely hit a quarter of those guitars. You know what I mean? But for him, each night, maybe he decides he wants a different one, or maybe each one's a specific backup for that one that he knows he's going to play for Sunshine of Your Love, you know. So every guitar player has their own nerding out thing. That
Now,
they
the
do with that.
other thing I thought about is, so before I had my place, I would travel around and do shows at other places. And when you're bringing your own sound equipment, knobs get turned and stuff like that as
Yeah.
you're driving.
Yeah.
And, you always like make sure everything's turned out before you plug it in.
Yeah.
Now, with the guitars, is it the same thing where do you have to, especially those, make sure they're in tune before you play them?
Yes. Yeah. So
Obviously, there's sound checks and stuff like that, but I don't know how in-depth those sound checks are.
guitars go out of tune just sitting there sometimes.
Okay.
So
Let alone traveling an hour.
Exactly. So no matter what you do before you leave your house, you're tuning your guitars when you get to the venue for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
And then every
100%.
100%. It has to be done. Period. It would be nice to be a keyboard player that it's electronic and you never have to worry about it. Or if you're a piano player, you get somebody to tune it once a year and it stays in tune. But guitars aren't like that.
Yeah.
So, so everybody's a little different as far as when it comes to on stage. Now, for somebody like Trey that's using so many different guitars, my guess would be that he tuned them all right before the show, either during sound check or right after. And then as soon as he picks it up, he checks it again real quick. And he's a pro, so he does it where you barely notice. You know what I mean? And then he's off to the next song. You know, there's a type of tuner called a poly tuner. This is real guitar nerd stuff, but it's a good question you ask. So this is a real quick way of doing it. You hit all 6 strings, and it tells you if any one of them are out instead of having to go through them individually.
Okay.
So a guy like Trey probably uses something like that.
Yeah, 'cause I was going to say, because I was able to meet him in the hallway seeing the flyer that it was him.
Yeah.
And so he had time to spare.
Big time, dude. No, he was. I mean, everybody was super professional at that show. The sound guy Ryan got here super early. Everybody got there early, and they were setting up and doing their thing with plenty of time to. I mean, they had 45 minutes of downtime or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not always like that. I mean, the Bad Slice show, everybody was here super early and super professional, but
Right.
we were still tweaking the sound 5 minutes before the doors open.
Right.
So it just
Right.
depends. It just depends on what specifically is happening that night. How sometimes it's just a crazy night and you're having a hard time pulling it together for whatever reason.
Right.
Know? But luckily we have some real pros.
Yeah,
And,
no, for sure, man.
They're helping pull it together for us.
And you expect the next QDK to be the same thing?
100%, dude. Now that one that's 4 dudes that have been playing music since at a bare minimum since the 70s.
Okay.
All right, these guys are as professional as it gets. They've been there, done that. One guy is from the freaking Hooters, Another guy has played with Bob Dylan and Billy Squier, on and on and on. The other guy played with Chuck Berry, for crying out loud. And Quentin has played with everybody from Herman's Hermits to Bow Wow Wow, and is in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I mean, these cats are as pro as it gets.
Yeah.
Quentin, who he wanted to make sure our sound was right, and I don't blame him. Right. He walked in during the because he was playing Gatsby's during the Bad Slice night.
Okay.
Right. He walked in, took one look at what we were doing, goes, "Oh, we're good."
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yep, he's all good now. You know what I mean? No
That's
more
so
questions.
funny.
So yeah, can't wait for that show for Quentin. And anybody that didn't see the Quentin Jones episode that's watching this episode,
Yeah.
go back and see what you could potentially come and see on December 1st. Because not only is the man in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame a great guitar player, a great performer, but he is one serious character and knows how to spin a yarn.
Dude, I can't wait, man. $10 in advance, $15 at the door. SoulJoels.com. All the stuff's there. So the last thing I want to talk about too is we had Dina Blizzard.
Oh yeah.
So she was the night before Bobby Kelly.
Yes.
She packed the room as well.
Yeah.
And
I heard great things about that show. I didn't get to go in because I was doing over at the Trey show.
yeah, but so people that didn't realize she was scheduled the Friday after we got shut down. So we were booked.
Get out of town.
Yeah, and then she wasn't touring for a while.
Shut down because of COVID?
COVID.
So
Yep.
she was booked at the original Soul Joel's.
Inside.
Okay.
Yep, she was on that March flyer.
Get the heck out of here,
Yep.
man. Wow, I
And-
didn't know that. Okay.
So she would have been the following Friday. We had Julian McCullough, and then it was going to be her.
Get the heck out of here, dude.
Yeah, and
I didn't know you went back with her.
yeah, and she lives in my hometown.
Get out.
But that's a coincidence.
Okay.
I don't live there. She still does.
You didn't go to like 5th grade with her or anything.
No.
Like
no.
Julian.
No, and she's a Miss New Jersey. So yeah, she's a beauty pageant winner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and she I asked any headliner, do you want to bring your own feature? And she goes, well, Missy Hall's available. And I'm like, well, that's scary good.
Yeah, that's a heavy feature, man.
Yeah.
This is
and
no freaking joke, man.
She, but they both go out and kill.
Beautiful.
And I had Matt Pennington come up
I
from.
love Matt, man.
Yeah, come
Shout
up
out
from
to Matt.
Annapolis. Yeah. And then, so Dina's Blizzard, 2 out of 3 of her kids now do comedy.
And one of them came that night, right?
One of them came that, yeah. So I knew her son already did, but now her daughter has been performing Jacqueline for over a year. And yeah.
In the family, man.
In the family, goes
That's
up
really
and
cool.
crushes for
I
10
heard
minutes.
she killed, man.
Yeah. I was like, thank goodness I got Matt Pennington to mix up. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
but,
dude, yeah. Bring it back down a little.
Yeah,
We're kidding,
yeah,
Matt. We love you.
Yeah. Well, dude, and he goes on and you know, says the P word, female P, not male
Pussy.
P. Your words, not mine.
I'll say it.
Yeah. And I go, oh boy, and it's not just. I kind of learned this from, I mean, just for years of doing it, but also Judy Gold after the show was like talking about Rob Stant and talking about blowjobs.
Right.
She goes, I could follow anything, but I felt bad for Liz, and Liz Glazer can also follow anyone.
Right. Liz
but
is
it's
a
like
beast, yeah.
it's not, that doesn't lend itself well to the material you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. You're like, when I'm going up and talking about being a lesbian, I don't want to follow a comedian that just talked about blowjobs. Yeah. And I was like, Judy, that is a great point.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
but I mean, that show was great. Everything went great. But
Right.
I went up to Dina, and I was like, I'm going to talk to him after he gets off stage. She goes, no. She goes, everything's great. Let him be who he is. And it was
Love that.
fine.
Love
And,
that.
But I still pulled him aside. I go, hey, man, just so you're more self-aware, I go, and he goes, yeah, you're right. I'm like, dude, and I know every comic is an outlier and wants to be a cowboy
Right.
or cowgirl.
Yes. Right.
They them.
Cow them.
Yeah. But like you can't. Like you have to be self-aware that it's not your show.
Right.
It's someone else's show. And as a host, you're laying the groundwork for the other. And no one knows that better than James Madden. That's why
Dude, that's why James is so good.
yeah, you're setting the tone.
Yeah.
You shouldn't overly curse and yeah, you could test things out for the other comics sitting in the back.
Listen, if you're opening up for Adrian Appalucci that's coming tonight,
Yeah.
you got a longer fucking leash.
Right.
Because Adrian is the dark queen. You
dark
know what I
queen.
mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she is as dark and dirty as it gets.
But sometimes those comics want to leave that for them.
That's a fair point, too.
Yeah.
And some people, I won't mention a name, but some people don't want crowd work in front of them.
Right,
You know,
right.
like there's that thing, too.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Well, I thought you were going to talk about Kevin Nealon, who Kevin Nealon.
oh, God, that was a great one. Yeah, tell
Yeah.
that.
So Kevin Nealon comes and the one request is just have clean openers. Well, the definition is always different. Okay.
Right. What is clean? Yeah.
What is clean? But we had him Thursday night at Valley Forge Casino. Rivers Casino.
Rivers, yeah.
In Philly. Friday, Saturday in Royersford at the Dome.
Yep.
And so he's like, well, I want to check this place out. And I had Buddy Harris and Brendan Donegan.
And you were rotating, right?
Rotating. Yeah. And Buddy goes, Buddy Harris is on stage, and he comes out and sees Brendan, and he goes, oh, well, this is great. And he goes, are you Buddy or Brendan? And I'm like, it doesn't even matter. You're never going to meet these guys again, or whatever. But it was awesome. He did that. And I bring him inside, and Buddy Harris goes, so I'm sucking this guy's dick, and I see Kevin Nealon almost go, oh, like this is the first thing he's seeing for the whole weekend, and I'm like, this is not good. And the next day, Buddy goes, I'm hosting, and Brendan's gonna feature, and Kevin goes, great. Am I hosting tomorrow? Are we gonna keep like circling thing? And he goes, and Buddy, are we gonna do the dick sucking joke again tonight? And I go, oh man. I go, see, this is why you're not supposed to do that, man.
Dude, that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's priceless. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's got to be a real interesting because the closer you get to the front of the show, the younger you are as a comic. In general.
In general. And
the
over in
James
England-
Madden's being the big exception because he's become like the host of New York City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And over in England, it's the headliner hosts because they do like a halftime.
Oh, interesting.
Host is the best comic, brings them up, does two shows. They do a halftime, Everybody goes to the bathroom, gets 2 more drinks, comes back. The host comes back, resets the room. 2 more comics.
Interesting.
Yeah, we might start doing that.
Feels wild, man.
It does.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Well, but it's got to be this wild balancing act because generally, the earlier in the game the comic in America,
Yeah.
the closer they are to the front of the show.
Right.
The host being the least experienced, the feature being next, and then the
Yeah.
headliner being the most experienced.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to put on a host and a feature to just figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's fascinating because they're young in their acts.
Yeah.
They're starting to figure out what works.
Yeah.
And once they know what works, now they have to figure out what the guy they're opening up for doesn't like about what they do.
Right. I figured
That's
all
a
that.
fascinating little juggling act they have to do.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's all we got, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Bring them out for Alan Hills, Soul Joel. Keep subscribing. Like us. Follow us everywhere and give us reviews and keep spreading the word. We'll see you next week.